Hello everyone, this is Sudhir Kumar Dwivedi, Assistant Professor of Law from GemTech School of Law, Greater Noida. The topic for today's lecture is important case laws on dying declaration. As we have already discussed, what is the concept of dying declaration, what are the requirements of the dying declaration, and what are the various forms of the dying declaration, and what is the evidentiary value of the dying declaration. We have already discussed these points. In this lecture we will deal only with the case laws which is related with the various aspects of the dying declaration. The first case which I have quoted here, mentioned here, is Manu Raja and others versus State of MP. In this case, the Supreme Court held that the statement by an injured person recorded as FIR can be treated as a dying declaration, and such statement is admissible under Section 32 of the Indian Evidence Act. So, if the person who has caused the FIR registered, and after the registration of the FIR, the person got death, and if in the FIR the dead person has given the cause of his death or the circumstances of the transaction which resulted in his death, then that uh, FIR may be considered as a dying declaration. The next case is Pakla Narayan versus Swami Emperor. Pakla Narayan Swami versus Emperor. In this case, it was held that the letter given by deceased to his wife before going to the place where he was killed was relevant. What happened in this case, that the person who was dead before going to at some particular place, and he handed over a letter by indicating that I have received this letter, I have been called to receive the money, and that's why I am going to that particular place. And it was held by the court that the letter given by the deceased to his wife before going to place where he was killed was relevant. The court said that the statement made must be at any rate near death or the circumstances of the transaction explaining his death is relevant under Section 32 of the Indian Evidence Act. In this case, the court stated that the dying declaration can be any statement that explain the cause of death or the circumstances of the transaction explaining the death. Hence, statement as to any circumstances of the transaction which resulted in the death could be included in the dying declaration. The next case is Kushal Rao vs. State of Bombay. In this case, the Supreme Court quoted the importance of the dying declaration and what is the right process of regarding the dying declaration. It was held by the court that if the dying declaration is recorded in question answer form, if the medical certificate is given by the doctor, if it is recorded by authorized person, then it is admissible and reliable. So what held in this case? Court held that we know that there are various form of the recording of the dying declaration, but court held in this case that the best form of the regarding the dying declaration is question answer form, and if it is supported by the medical certificate that the person who has given the statement was in a mentally fit condition to give the statement, then it will be admissible as well as it will be a reliable evidence. In the same case, it was held by the court that the court must be satisfied that the deceased was mentally fit to make the statement, and the victim had the opportunity to observe and identify the accused. The victim should not be making the statement under any influence. Also, Supreme Court of India held that once the court is satisfied that the dying declaration is true, the conviction can be upheld and there is no need for the corroboration. So, in this case, the Supreme Court told about the importance, the evidentiary value of the dying declaration, and it was held in this case that if it has been recorded with due procedure and if it has been supported by the medical certificate, then the dying declaration may be the sole basis of the conviction without the corroboration. The next case is Biju alias Joseph versus State of Kerala. In this case, it was held by the court that merely on the ground that the statement of the deceased was in her own language cannot vitiate the dying declaration. It was held by the High Court of Kerala. We have already discussed this point that the dying declaration may be in the language of the person who has made the statement, though it is generally preferred that it should be in the language of the court. But if it is not in the language of the court, then also it will not affect the, you can say, evidentiary value of the dying declaration. So it was held by the Kerala High Court that assuming that the deceased gave her statement in her own language, the dying declaration would not be shared merely because it was recorded in different language. We bear in mind that it is not unusual that courts record evidence in the language of the court, even when the witness deposes in their own language. Judicial officers are used to the practice of translating the statement from the language of the parties to the language of the court. Such translation process would not upset the admissibility of the statement or its reliability. So, what held in this case, the Supreme Court, the Kerala High Court had held that even if the victim has used a different language and the court official, the person, the, you can say, the magistrate, if recorded the dying declaration in the language of the court, then also it will be reliable, it will be admissible, unless and until there is a clear cut doubt on the dying declaration that it was influenced, it was under threat. If there is some doubt, there is some evidence indicating that, then there may be evidentiary value of that dying declaration will be less. Otherwise, even if it is was recorded in the language of the court, though the language of the victim was different, but if it was recorded in the language of the court with due process, then it will be admissible and reliable. The next case is Ukaram versus State of Rajasthan. The apex court, the Supreme Court, held that when a statement is made by a person as to cause of his death or as to any circumstances of transaction which resulted into his death, in case in which cause of his death comes into question, is admissible in evidence, and such statement is in law is called dying declaration. The next is Ram Bihari Yadav versus State of Bihar. That is important case. It was held by the court that a dying declaration is a statement made by a person who is dead as to the cause of his death or as to any circumstances of the transaction which resulted in his death, in case in which death come into question. Such statements are relevant under Section 32 of the Indian Evidence Act. Whether the person who made there was or was not at the time when they were made under the exception of death, and whatever be the nature of the proceeding in which the cause of his death came into question. Maybe it means it may be the civil or criminal nature. It is not necessary that the person who has made the statement was under the expectation of his death. Then in P.V. Radhakrishnan versus State of Karnataka, it was held. The principle on which the Dine Declaration is admitted in the evidence is indicated a Latin maxim nemo moritus praesitimur meter mentire. A man will not meet his maker with a lie in his mouth. Information lodged by a person who died subsequently relating to the cause of his death is admissible in evidence under this clause. In the Raja versus State of MP, it was held that there is neither rule of law nor of prudence that declaration cannot be acted upon without corroboration. So here in this case, the evidentiary value of the declaration was discussed. Again, in the state of UP versus Ram Sagar Yadav, it was held that if the court is satisfied that the dying declaration is true and voluntary, it can base the conviction on it without the corroboration. Both cases are very important. Then in Ramchandra Reddy versus public prosecutor, in this case the court has to scrutinize the dying declaration carefully and must ensure that the declaration is not result of tutoring, prompting, or imagination. The deceased had the opportunity to observe and identify the assailants and was in a fit state to make the declaration. And then in Rashid Veg versus the state of Madhya Pradesh, it was held where the dying declaration is suspicious, it should not be acted upon without corroborative evidence. In the same way, in Atbir versus Government and City of Delhi, it was held that dying declaration can be the sole basis of the conviction if it inspires the full confidence of the court. Then it is an important case, Queen Empress versus Abdullah. It was held that the dying declaration can also be in form of gesture and signs. We have discussed these points while we were discussing the various forms of the dying declaration. In this case, the accused had cut the throat of the deceased girl, and because of that, she was not able to speak. So she indicated the name of the accused by sign of her hand. It was held by the full bench of the Allahabad High Court that if the injured person is unable to speak, he or she can make the declaration by sign and gesture in response to the question. Again, in Sarad Virti Chand Sarda versus State of Maharashtra, it was held there has to be a proximate relationship between the statement and circumstances of the death. In this case, a young married woman had been speaking to her parents and other relatives and also writing to them expressing the danger to her life. She lost her life 3 or 4 months after that. Her statement was admitted as showing the circumstances of death. They were not too remote in time from the point of death. So there may be time gap of 2 or 3 4 months. We have discussed this point that there may be time gap of 2 or 3 or 4 months. But if the statement is narrating the circumstances under which it resulted his or her death, that statement be considered as a dying declaration. Again, in K. Ramachandra Reddy versus public prosecutor, it was held where an injured person lodged an FIR and then died. It was held that it be relevant as a dying declaration, and accordingly, the in Patel Hiralal Jaitaram versus State of Gujarat, two categories of the statement are made admissible in evidence. They are cause of his death, a statement as to the circumstances of the transaction which resulted to his death. Then, if declarant died to injury to be proved. Before the statement of a person as to cause of his death may be used as a dying declaration, it must be proved that his death was caused by the injury he received in the incident for which the accused is being prosecuted. In Chandrabhan Singh vs. State, it was held. Chandrabhan Singh was tried of the murder of Saitan Singh. The deceased Saitan Singh himself lodged a report in which he narrated the story of the incident. After the medical examination, the deceased developed tetanus and died of it. It was held that the statement of the deceased could not be used as a dying declaration because his death was because of tetanus, not of the injury which he received from the accused. That's why his statement was not considered as a dying declaration. So it must be proved that declarant died of injury which was caused by the accused. That these were the some important case laws on every aspect of the dying declaration. Thank you.